I think the difficult part about this is going to be for people to separate the people that we watched in films for nearly 20 years from these new kids. Because even watching the trailer, I was like, that kid looks like Daniel Radcliffe. John Lithgow looks nothing like the man that played Albus Dumbledore, and I can tell that's Nick Frost as Hagrid. Like they just don't like. My mind can't
Right.
not see
They would
the
have to
people as
find totally new
exactly. Yeah,
actors
yeah,
to sort of cleanse our palates in a
right.
way.
And I think
Um,
that's a yeah that may have helped if they had people we just did not know at all.
if you're hearing this, we thank you for pressing play on another edition of It's a Stream of Life podcast with Brandon and Lauren. And this week we will have our best of for quarter one, and we will discuss Marvel's Daredevil Born Again and the 2024 documentary White with Fear. But first, how has your week been going so far?
Not well. It was very stressful. On Monday, the
Oh,
water heater broke, and so
oh no.
I didn't. I usually don't go in the basement until like in a month to change the filter in the furnace. So I went down there and I noticed the water. I said, "Okay, it's raining. Maybe it's the sump pump." Anyway, it was not. It was the water heater, and it was just a slow leak because there's still water in there. It just leaked all week. So I'd go down in the morning, clean up all this water, come back the next morning. The same amount of water would be down there, and luckily we're able to get it fixed on Friday, and so it's working well and like it's good. But
That's good.
oh my goodness, it was so stressful. It was too much work. So
Yeah,
now
when
I just
we
yeah
when our pipes burst those two
yeah
winters in a row, I was like, "Are we gonna have to move? Like, what is the
right
issue? Because
right. It's too
we can't
much.
control the temperature. Like, this shouldn't be
No,
happening every year, especially when it never happened
exactly.
before." So yeah, that's crazy. I think the same thing happened to my coworkers. Their sewage backed up. So like
Oh
for
wow.
weeks, like they had to work from home and rooter rotor and moving because they
Yeah.
had a bunch of stuff in their basement. It was just a mess.
It and luckily for us, it was just that, and the stuff that got wet actually stopped it from spreading outside of like the back room. You know what the basement looks like here, but
Yeah.
we didn't even know the water heater. That water heater was put in 2007. So I was like, damn, that's old. Like, that's 20 years. I don't think they're supposed to last that long, but it
Right,
did.
right.
And we generally couldn't tell that it was getting up in age. But yeah, so we got a new one and it's all good.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good. Very good. Yeah, we you need those things in the house. So
absolutely.
yeah. Things here are pretty good. I finally got over this seasonal cold I
Oh,
had.
yeah,
Like every season change, I get the same thing. So I guess it's just part of allergies or something. But
probably.
finally
Yeah.
getting over that and enjoying the Easter weekend. Nice weather today.
Yeah,
So things been pretty chill.
that's
Let's go
good.
ahead and jump into some headlines. It's been a
Yeah.
minute since we've been here. A lot has happened, of course. Starting off with CBS News announced another trove of layoffs as their ratings kind of dropped slowly with the new head of the news there, Barry Weiss. I think they
Yeah.
are trailing behind in both Fox and like ABC News and then CNN or something like that.
Wow.
Um, and they also shuttered CBS New Radio
Yeah, I
after
saw that.
like
Like it's
70
close
years
to a
of
hundred. Yeah,
existence.
I saw
Yeah.
that and that kind of amazed me. I can't remember how long it had been, but um, I'm sure there's some people out there that look forward to that all the time. And even the excuse they gave was very, very weak. It's like, oh, we just
Hmm.
don't have essentially the time to pay attention to it or the money to put into it. It's like, okay, like yeah,
Okay, right. Because you're not making that much money.
right,
Um, yeah. And along with that, Jane Acosta, who used to work at CNN, warned about state-run media in his
oh
departure. I
yeah,
think he's since gone independent with a Substack or something like that. But we're seeing it right before our eyes.
yeah,
The news, well, CBS News specifically, is running the gamut to align with administration's version of
right,
events. You see the Washington Post, New York Times, the Los Angeles Times. It's just their way of sort of ruining legacy media is to align it with this government we have right now, and
Right.
it's not good, especially with the elections coming up. So
No, not at all.
something's got to give, and we have our own sort of local media maelstrom coming. Circle City Broadcasting, the independent news company in Indianapolis that owns the CW and a few other stations, has now bought WRTV, which I
Right.
didn't realize was the first news station in Indianapolis. So they've been around the longest.
Right. Exactly.
Um, and that whole staff was basically laid off as they were merged into this new company. And it's really weird to have all the news in that city be owned by two
Right.
entities, potentially, if the Nexstar and Tegna merger goes through. Um, it's just very strange. I don't know
Yeah.
what that's going to mean for the future of media in Indiana.
I have no clue. Yeah, because I mean, I think everybody probably looks to Indianapolis, but uh, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, and like the CW sounded great, like that independent Wish TV, more
Right.
locally centered, but these moves are very questionable, especially laying the entire staff off. Like,
Exactly.
you couldn't
Yeah.
use any of those people. Like, I don't understand.
No. So we'll see.
Yeah. On some better news, the WGA Writers Guild of America settled their contract with the Association of Motion Picture and Television Producers. So usually those negotiations go a bit bumpier, especially with the dual strike back in 2023 and 2022. But they
Hmm.
settled upon a new contract. They agreed with the AMPTP to extend their contracts to 4 years rather than three. And there was also an expansion of their healthcare plan, which a lot of the writers were fighting for. So good for them. We still have SAG-AFTRA to go ahead and with
Yeah,
their negotiations
it's
later
good.
this year. I think in May. But that's somewhat of a good sign, especially with the industry still sort of like in limbo,
Right.
technically.
Yeah.
But the WGA West staff is still on strike, and those are the workers inside the Writers Guild of America West Corporation. So, like, not exactly the writers, but the other members that work in that body. They have been going back and forth with the WGA for better pay and other issues. So, hopefully, that gets settled as well.
Yeah.
And there were some big trailers that came out. We were gearing up for another summer season of movies. And pretty soon we'll be into the 2026-27 film circuit again. So, first up, of course, is Marvel's Spider Man Brand New Day, which is set to drop, I believe, in July, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure that's right.
I can never keep up with all
The
the
last
Spider-Mans.
Yeah, the last Spider-Man film was in like 2022, late 2022, I believe, and that was Far Away
Yeah.
from Home. No Way Home, my
Yeah.
bad.
No
No
Way
Way
Home.
Home, and
Yeah.
that was the one that brought back Toby, Maguire, Andrew Garfield, all the villains from the past films. Let me make sure I get the date right. Yeah, July 31st is Brand New Day. So this one sees Tom
Hmm.
Holland return as Peter Parker. And if you've forgotten what's happened in the last film, he was forced to wipe everyone's memory of himself to sort of save his universe. So
Yeah.
no one knows who Spider-Man is. And Peter Parker's now a stranger, so he lost his relationships with both Mary Jane and Ned. So essentially, he's starting over. This will be more a much older version of Peter Parker. He's living alone, working as a photographer. Aunt May, of course, has passed away as well. So this will be the first version of him where he's sort of independent. He's not relying on like uh, Tony Stark to help or
Oh,
some
okay.
other mentor or stuff like that. But the trailer has done great numbers. And there's high anticipation for this film, given that it's directed by Daniel Destin Creighton, who just recently did Wonder Man for Marvel. We have a bunch of villains are supposed to arrive in this. Scorpion from Spider-Man Homecoming has returned. He's out of
Okay.
jail. He had a small
Yeah.
cameo in the first film. He's out of jail. We're also anticipating Peter meeting Dr. Banner, Bruce Banner, aka Incredible Hulk,
Yeah.
and the casting that everyone knows already is Sadie Sink
Think.
from
Yeah.
Stranger Things. She is Jean Grey, allegedly.
Cool.
Um, and she may be, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen this sort of invisible force jumping from one person to the other. So the assumption is it's her using her powers in some way. Of course, she's not part of the X-Men yet. We're not even there yet, but
Right. Right.
they're sort of driving the train in that direction. So I'm really excited for this version of Spider-Man. Because it is sort of like a reset, given that we've had almost a decade of this version already.
Right. Yeah. That is true. All right.
Um, in addition to that, we got the trailer for Dune Part 3 from Dennis. How do you say
Feeling
his
the
last
wave.
name?
I think it's feeling the wave.
Yes. Can't say I understand what's going on in the trailer. I guess this is the big war.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally getting to that part. What's crazy though is just like I don't know if you ever read the book. The book is one of the hardest books I've ever had to just follow. It first of all, it's so long, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's a lot of the good parts coming up now because everybody's splintered, and you got
Right.
Paul Atreides is kind of, I wouldn't say losing his mind, but kind of angry and then coming into his own. And there's just a lot of moving parts in this one, but the trailer looks very good. So,
It does.
and it's the conclusion of
And
it, so hopefully it goes out with a
right,
bang.
wrap it up. So we'll have new additions to the film, I believe. Anya Taylor-Joy is in this
Yeah, she's in this as well. Yeah,
one, as well as Robert Pattinson. He's there
yeah,
as well. And when we have the return of Jason Momoa, who I felt was the best part of the first film. Like I really
yeah.
enjoyed his character. Then of
Duncan,
course
Idaho.
Timothy
Yeah,
Chalamet and Zendaya are back. Um,
Rebecca Ferguson.
and Rebecca Ferguson, of course, as his mother, and
Yeah,
Florence Pugh as sort of like the
yes,
bride stuck in the middle, somewhat.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can't
that's
remember her
headed to
name,
us
but
pretty soon. Yeah,
I
I just know she was like basically tricked into this marriage.
yeah, she's a princess. Yeah, I just can't remember her name in it. So
I might have to rewatch the part two because it's been a minute, but it's not that I don't like them. They are amazing feats of cinema. It's just the story isn't that unique, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, there's a lot going on, and it has such a big following because from the '80s movie, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who have read the books and whatnot. But no, yeah, I
Hmm.
like the movies. They're very long.
Yeah, that's the only thing. They're way too long.
Yeah,
And of
they're
course,
so long.
we also have the series, which I didn't watch, but I heard people enjoyed. Dune
Okay,
Prophecy, which is like
that's
the
good.
prequel series that follows the Coven of Witches, how they sort of form, basically.
Hmm,
And
okay.
that's on HBO. I think they're filming season two now.
Hmm,
Speaking of HBO, they released the first teaser of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is their TV adaptation of J.K. Rowling's novels, which we already know were blockbuster films.
yeah,
Big names attached to this are John Lithgow, uh, Pape Esedu. Um, I really don't know who else. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of newcomers in it, so I can't really
yeah.
name them like
I
that. There were rumors that someone's supposed to be Voldemort, but I don't remember who it's supposed to be now.
I think the difficult part about this is going to be for people to separate the people that we watched in films for nearly 20 years from these new kids. Because even watching the trailer, I was like, that kid looks like Daniel Radcliffe. John Lithgow looks nothing like the man that played Albus Dumbledore, and I can tell that's Nick Frost as Hagrid. Like they just don't like my mind can't
Right.
not see
They would
the
have to
people as
find totally new
exactly. Yeah,
actors
yeah,
to sort of cleanse our palates in a
right.
way.
And I think
Um,
that's a yeah, that may have helped if they had people we just did not know at all. Like,
right, right. Of course, there's been pushback given Rowling's
hmm
spoken bigotry to the trans community. A lot of people are not in favor of the show, but I feel like it's going to be a hit for Warner Brothers
yeah,
regardless. There's a ton of old fans and probably new fans are going to tune in.
exactly.
And they were said it's supposed to arrive sooner than expected. We were thinking 2027, but they're saying the series will arrive Christmas season
Yeah, that's what I
2026.
saw. Yeah, they've got
So,
the date around Christmas, so
mm-hmm.
we'll see.
The only thing they did say that fans need to get in their mind now that the seasons will not be coming back to back. So we'll get season
Yeah,
one, season two, maybe like 2028. Like
yeah, that's crazy.
it's gonna be a lengthy project. Getting back to movies, we got the trailer for Back Rooms, and this
Yeah,
is a film of I guess a series from King Parsons, produced by
Y-
A24.
yeah, it's
I can't
weird.
tell
It's
you
kind of
what's
like
going on.
exactly, and I think that's the part. It's like I don't even say it. It's like a series, and there's internet lore to it, and it's like a thriller, um, and then like if people know what creepypasta is from like Reddit and those type of things, it's one of those things. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's hard to imagine, but it lived on the internet for a good amount of time, like around the pandemic, honestly, like 2021 or something like that. And then for this to come to life in this way, it's like, whoa. So um, I'm excited. I hope it does well. I did not know that either of these two actors were going to be in it, which kind of ups the ante
Mm-hmm.
because they're not nobodies. Chwetel,
Right.
can never say his last name, uh,
Yeah.
but he is very very good. And then yeah, Renee's yeah her last name. We just saw it in Subliminal Value. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It's very intriguing. The fact that I don't know what's going on makes it that much more
yeah,
anticipated. Um, and it's not like what we're seeing is exactly scary, but it's just
right,
unsettling, which is
right,
much more my preferred version of horror. Like
exactly,
this could happen, and we don't know what's happening. It's just that it looks great. I'm really excited for this. And I think
right,
that arrives in May as well.
yeah, I think so,
And our final trailer was for Mother Mary. They released another trailer, and this is the film starring Anne Hathaway and Michaela Cole. Anne is playing a sort of aging pop star who's sort of coming back to the fold for a new album, and she reconnects with her previous sort of fashion designer, Michaela
right,
Cole. Um, and there seems to be some past witchery that was going on
yeah,
when they reconnect. We're not exactly sure why they splintered their friendship, but coming back, it seems like some other force was behind not only their success, but maybe their this existence or whatever. It looks very intriguing, and it's been in production whatever for a while. We heard about this at least 2 years ago, I think.
yeah. I was very confused, just like, wait, hold on, what is happening? Like, everything seemed normal until the witchcraft aspect came in. I was like, what? Okay, like, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably still see it. But yeah, so I was very very like, oh wow, didn't expect that route.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of exciting movies coming up. And plus there's other stuff coming out. It's been out, but it feels like a good movie year. We already have uh Super Mario Galaxy World, whatever, and Project Hail Mary sort of like pumping the box office. So
Yeah, yeah,
the industry's excited about that. Um, and then with Marvel ahead, it's just they're seeing money. So that can only reap
yeah,
good
absolutely.
things, I guess. All right, we'll transition now into our feature presentation, and it's our quarter one review, basically where we discuss sort of like our favorite movies and TVs of the first 3 months of the year. We can just jump right into it.
Okay.
Um, so what were some of your favorites this past quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me see. Okay. So I did both shows and movies. So for January, my shows, I picked A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I started late but got into. I thought it was very good, a really good addition to that whole universe. I'm also late to the Game of Thrones universe
Mm-hmm.
anyway. I had to catch up, and anyway, so I don't know all the lore, but this is very good. Good acting, good casting, good story. So enjoyed that. Another show I watched was How to Get to Heaven from Belfast. Now this was on Netflix,
Mm.
and there's something about Ireland and Northern Ireland where I think it's just the humor really kind of speaks to me. It's kind of sarcastic. It's dry. It's very like how do I say it? Brash, but not in like the same way as like our brashness, where it's like just cussing,
Right.
cussing, cussing. It's so funny to me,
It's
but
more
it's also
honest.
exactly that's a great way to put it, and it's also very touching. So it's a good show, and it just kind of follows friends who one of their friends in the group passes away, and they're kind of dealing with that. So um, and then the last show I watched, which I've got like 2 episodes left, is Industry. Um, and just wow, really one of the best shows on TV right now, if not the best. I know there's a lot of competition, but yeah, this season is crazy. I don't really know how the show gets wilder from season to season, and I do not know where it's going. But yeah, I'll be there. I've really enjoyed it. But yes, I've got
Hello.
2 episodes left
Oh,
until I'm done. So I'm trying not to look at anything or anything like that. So
right, right. Um, I'll start there. Industry was definitely on my list. This season
yeah.
was the best season.
Hmm.
Given like its slow burn in popularity, it hit its zenith this season, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they knock it out of the park. Like you're going to be gobsmacked by the final
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's incredible. Very incredible. Let's see what else do I have. Industry, and then let me make sure. I think they started around the same time. I'm still watching The Pit, of course, season two.
Yeah.
Um, Incredible television. This season is
Yeah.
definitely. I think season one they sort of hit you hard with the traumatic cases and patients and sort of like the drama around there. This season, they're definitely focusing more on our staff and sort of like their trauma and really the concept of burnout and how that's
Hmm.
heavy in the hospital industry, especially for healthcare workers, first responders.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was it for January. So the pit will wrap up and I think they have like two more episodes left. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So do you just want to go to
Um
February or go into, or did you have movies at all?
um I had a few movies.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll just do the shows, then we'll do the movies. That so.
Okay, cool, cool. For February, let's see. My top one was probably Wonder Man.
Oh yeah.
I was really surprised at how well it was given Marvel's track record with TV. People were
Yeah.
very critical of anything that didn't align with what they thought the MCU should be. And that gave uh, Daniel Destin Creighton and Andrew Guest, a chance to prove themselves, which, I mean, he did with Shang-Chi, which was a great film.
Yeah.
Um, and they gave us a good story above just a good superhero story. Um, and it's gotten a second season renewal, so they'll
Hmm.
return and we'll explore more with Simon Williams and Trevor Flattery. So I'm really excited for that.
Okay. Okay. For me, yeah, in February I had hold on, what's my list? I had Scrubs, which came back. I've watched a few episodes of that, so it's very good. Uh, and you know when shows come back, you're always scared like they're not going to capture the magic of the first time around. But it still feels the same. It still feels like Scrubs. I was very young when Scrubs aired, but my sister used to watch it, and I would catch some episodes, and there's even still some like inside jokes we have about the show, the original series. So seeing this was it was very good. It's good to see everybody back. And then Paradise, which wrapped up the 30th of March, and
Mm.
I think I've got like again two more episodes left in that, but so far just really really good. It follows the story of a secret service agent who's dealing with like trying to figure out what happened to this in the assassination of the president, and then he becomes the focus of the assassination in a way. And uh, yeah, there's so many loops and twists and things in it, but it works out. I don't know how they've written this in a way that you
Yeah.
don't really get lost. But yeah, Sterling K. Brown is amazing. So is everybody in the show, really.
Hmm.
And so
Definitely.
yeah, that's my February.
Okay, and then March, of course, um, still watching Daredevil Born Again. We've returned to
Hmm.
Hell's Kitchen with Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, which we'll get into much later. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking the season's going pretty well so far. And then I have Prime Video's Bait,
Oh,
the short series from Riz Ahmed, where he plays a struggling Pakistani actor in the UK who kind of stumbles in being rumored as the next James Bond. And you
oh
sort of
wow, yeah,
explore him through this narrative. It like I could describe it best as like taking Wonder Man and Rami and putting them together, given the immigrant experience in
right.
England in general, and then putting on Hollywood on top of that, and sort of like the ramifications that has. So it's really good. It's like a dark comedy, only 6 episodes, so um,
Okay, yeah.
you can definitely get into that. I really enjoyed that.
All right, and then so that brings us to what did I have here? I have um well, I've been watching a lot of basketball. March Madness has been on. That's been the main thing, which has been really good. A good tournament on both sides, the men and the women. The women just ended. This won't be
Hmm.
a spoiler to anybody, but UCLA won. Which on the women's side, I don't know how long it's been since a Big Ten team has won. They're not even really Big Ten if you're like a purist, but we'll take it. Um, but yeah, they've been good. A lot of upsets, a lot of just good basketball, so we'll see. But then I watched DTF St. Louis, which was a new show. Kind of,
Mm.
it's just like a short 7-part series, which I really didn't know uh, what was going to happen. But it stars, hold on, let me get the name, Lena Cardellini, David Harbour, and Jason Bateman, and they're just kind of in this community in St. Louis. But it more than anything to do with like sex, you think DTF, you think down the fuck. Uh, uh, it has to do just about kind of the how you feel stuck and the boringness of being in middle age, and there's that. It leads to a death, which is a huge part of the show, which I won't give away for anybody that's not seen it, but it's pretty good for the little bit. It's just been 3 episodes so far, or not three. My bad. It ends the 12th, but I've seen like 3 episodes, so um, I got to get back into that. But no, it's been pretty good. I didn't know what to expect, but I like it.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've read reviews of it. It sounds good. I didn't know what to expect either. That's why I haven't really
Yeah,
hopped into it, but it's very niche, I would say.
yeah, that's a great way to put
Kind
it.
of universal themes, but I didn't know how they would get there with that topic
Is
from the
that
first
that plot
trailer.
right?
All right, we'll transition to movies now. Let's see. For January, I had, excuse me, uh, Nia DaCosta's Hedda, which
Mm,
starred Tessa Thompson. I'm not sure how she wasn't nominated at all
yeah,
this season, but basically it's an adaptation of, I think, a novel, an old story. It's sort of like a classic story, where Thompson plays Hedda, who is sort of like a married woman who isn't. um, bottled down by sort of society's patriarchal roles for women. She kind of lives
Yeah.
very independent of her husband and of society's sort of view of her, which makes her sort of like a chaos agent, if you will.
Yeah.
um, she sort of married this doctor or professor, and they're hosting a party, and her former lover, who is also a professor, a woman professor, is arriving at this party as well. And just the events of the night to get inside sort of like her psyche, and just the chaos that ensues to be in sort of her orbit. It's sort of a tragic
Right.
tale on sort of class and race and gender roles, but it's a very good film. Very
Wow.
good. I
Okay.
think it's on Prime if you want to check that out.
Yeah, I have to.
Um, and then I randomly watched A Nice Indian Boy.
Wow.
This starred what's his name? Karan Soni, I think it is. Yes. Karan Soni, directed by Rashawn Sethi. I believe it came out a few years ago. Basically, Sony plays a physician, a gay Indian boy who falls for Jonathan Groff's character, who just happened to be a white boy that was adopted by Indian parents, so he's grown up in
Oh,
that
okay.
culture. And it shows like their courtship, but really explores the themes of like loneliness, especially in the gay community with like men of color, and sort of like those cultural um, obstacles of being a person of
Right.
color and gay and dealing with your history and stuff like that, and then explore relationships in general. I found myself crying at the end, which I did not expect because I don't really do
Mm,
rom
wow.
coms, and I was like, why am I
Right.
sitting here boohooing at an Indian
No,
wedding?
not
Like, what's going
boo-hooing.
on? But it's really cute.
Uh,
Nothing major, but it was nicely done. Something
yeah,
to
I have to
watch
check
like
it
on a
out.
rainy day or something.
All
And
right.
then finally, my last one was Alex Russell's Lurker. Finally got to see
Oh yeah.
that. Starred Theodore Pellerin and Archie Madique. I hope I said that right. Um, it's like sort of like single white male for the social media
Pretty much,
age.
yeah.
A young man who's sort of obsessed with this artist gains access to his inner circle, and he'll do anything to keep that access, basically. Um, and I've watched that on movie. But I think you can like rent that now on like Prime or
Probably so.
anywhere else. But it's very good, very dark, and humorous, but very real about just the parasocial relationships people
Yeah.
build with total strangers on social media, and the belief that they have um, control or access to this person's life just because they can see what they present to themselves and others. So very good.
Okay. Yeah, so for me, let's see, what did I have in here? I've been trying to get into I feel like the whole FOMO thing with people who are really into I meant to say this in the last one, into like anime, but one of the shows I'd also been watching is One Piece came back on Netflix. And I've been trying to do
Mm.
that. And this is like the live action one. I have no clue what's going on. I'm so far behind. So I'm gonna stick with it. Maybe I need to go and jump back a little bit. But anyway, back to the movies. One of the movies I saw was Tron Ares. I love Tron, the whole series, the '80s one, the one that came out in with Ryan Gosling is incredible. And oh wait, that's Blade Runner. I'm tripping. But the Tron before this was good. I can't remember the year exactly, but this one just didn't do it for me. The
Mm.
soundtrack was good. Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails did it, and it was great. But I literally found myself just like watching it, and then like going back to my phone. It just didn't hold me the same way as the other ones, and the reviews and ratings kind of show that it didn't. It did the same thing for most people, but I don't know. It's one of those kind of things that I enjoy when it comes out, but it wasn't very
Mm.
good for me. I also watched this movie on Criterion Channel, or Criterion. Yeah, it's a Criterion channel called Peter Hujar's Day. And Peter Hujar, I hope I'm saying his name right, was a photographer in like the 70s and the 80s here in the U.S. And he was, a queer photographer, kind of along the same line of like Robert Mapplethorpe. But this movie is actually based on a book that kind of details uh, the day in the life of an artist in the city who's really not making any money. That's seriously, literally it. And but it
Oh
was
wow.
uh, Ben. Oh, why can't I never say his name? Ben Winshaw. Is that
Ben
it?
Wishaw, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And Rebecca Hall were uh,
Mm,
were in this, and they were very good. It's got high reviews. I think it won a couple awards at some of the smaller festivals, and it's literally just like I say. It's just like a day in the life of this artist and his friend and what they do and this, but somehow it's still kind of captivating. And it's very short. It is an hour and 15 minutes long, and that's it. But it really just, it gets to the point, and it's something like that doesn't need to be long. But yeah, it made me look him up more. And unfortunately, like a lot of the great artists we had in this country passed away due to AIDS in
mm,
the 80s. And yeah, but yeah, definitely check that out if you have Criterion, because I'm not sure where else that will be available. So.
okay. Hmm. Gotcha.
And
Is that it for you?
oh yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay. All right, and then of course we'll slide into our preview for what's coming up the next 3 months. We can just go. Do I have? Okay, I have my full list here. I was just okay. Do you want to go through TV and then movies like we just did before?
Yeah.
Okay. So for April on my list, of course we're in April now.
Right.
April 8th, fifth season of The Boys arrives on Prime
Mm.
Video. It's the final season. So we'll see how possibly the United States could really end if we didn't have superheroes. It's been a very interesting series altogether, the way they've sort of reflected the political climate that we're in now.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the show's about, there's imagine superheroes were controlled by a corporation, and the front facing, of course, is being heroic and admitting goodwill, but behind closed doors is a toxic work environment, and capitalism is their bottom line. So fast forward, Homelander, the villain of the series, is ruling the United States with an authoritarian thumb, and the boys, the
Mm.
resistance, is now underground trying to fight the fascism. So there you go.
Okay. Well,
April 12th, Euphoria season 3 arrives on HBO. We've got a time jump. So our high
yeah,
schoolers have all
Jesus.
graduated. They're young adults now. So the drama may be more age appropriate.
Right.
Um, but it will be interesting because this season tends to examine faith and sort of like which direction they're going in. Um, there's been drama with this series all along, but I feel like this would be a proper send off. I don't see it going beyond this season, especially with Zendaya sort of
Yeah.
like catapulting more into
Exactly.
the film side. So, April 16th, Netflix's Beef returns for its second
Yeah.
season. And this season will star Oscar Isaac and what is her name? I see her face. Shoot. What's her name? Oscar Isaac and I know there's Charles Melton as well, and Carly Spanny. I think Kaylee Spanny, and then
Hmm.
Oscar Isaac's
That's it.
wife is played by. Come on, Lorin. I can't think of her name. Why am I tripping?
Oh,
Shoot. I can see her face.
yeah.
1 second. Sorry.
Is it?
Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan. Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
So
such a
they're a
good
couple.
actress. Yeah.
Yeah, she is very versatile. So they're a couple, and Charles Melton and Kaylee Spaney view experience them uh having like a domestic dispute, and they're their
Okay.
boss as well. So it explores for like gender roles and relationships. So I really enjoyed the first
Oh,
season of Beef. This looks like it's taking a different approach to sort of those similar themes.
okay.
And
That's cool.
finally, April 30th, Netflix has Man on Fire coming out. It'll be an adaptation of what the film was. Apparently, this was a book as well. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So we'll see Yahya Abdul-Mateen II take on the role that Denzel had in the film. It'll be him sort of becoming the person we see in the movie. It was like a prequel
Okay. Cool.
series.
Cool. All right.
Those are my picks for April.
Yeah. So for my shows for April, I'm going to actually add one in that started last week because I haven't started yet. But this will be the new show by the Duffer Brothers who did Stranger Things, and this is called Something Very Bad is Going to Happen. And it kind of
Hmm.
follows a couple who's getting married, and during the wedding, some like generational curse or something comes up. And I mostly just want to see it for like what they create next, if that makes sense. Like, just
Yeah.
they're done with this huge mega thing. Let's see what happens next. But it's still in that supernatural kind of horror element. So I'm interested in that and I'll give that a go. There's also The Miniature Wife. I keep seeing this commercial, and while it doesn't look super groundbreaking, the marketing is doing its job because they're like, what is it about? Why is she little?
Right.
And so I'm gonna watch it. And that comes out April 9th. So what is that? Is that Friday or Thursday? It's Friday or Thursday. I think
Six,
that's
seven, eight.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. So I'll check that out. And that's on Peacock. And it looks like it good. Stars Elizabeth Bank and Matthew McFadyen. So uh, it's just like the title sounds. He somehow makes his wife miniature. So I guess we'll find out on Thursday. And then, like you, I had Euphoria as well. So um, it's been forever. I know this is going to be an absolute mess, but I'm going to go along for the ride as well. So,
Yeah. I'm 2 seasons in. I need to finish it.
yeah, exactly. I can't stop. Yeah.
All right, transition to May. May 4th, BBC's Lord of the Flies arrives on Netflix.
Yes. Yep. That's the
And this
first
will be
on
the
my list.
first, like the first TV adaptation of that story, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's
Um,
wild.
I think I read like half of the book in high school or something like that. I don't think I ever finished it.
Yeah.
But basically, it's sort of like a epic story. Um,
Hmm.
a group of kids are stranded on an island and they sort of try to develop a society. And then, of course, once society is built, chaos ensues, power struggles, cannibalism, so forth and so forth.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see that play out because I really don't know the story very well, other
Oh,
than
okay.
just
Yeah.
that general gist.
Right.
Um, and then May 9th, HBO has a show from Japan called Song of the Samurai. It's like a
Yeah.
live action samurai show. I remember hearing about it a few months ago that they were picking it up. I guess it's been very popular internationally, so I'm definitely going to tune in. I want to get into more foreign series, so I'm interested in
Yeah. Yeah.
that. Um, May 14th, Netflix has Nemesis, and this will be a new crime
Mm,
drama from the creator of Power. 50 Cent is not involved,
good.
so don't worry about that. But sort of like a cop and criminal play cat and mouse game throughout this series. So I'm interested just because while I miss Power, I'm excited to see what her next project will look like.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and it stars Elan Noel from Insecure and Matthew Law from Ab Elementary. He plays Ava's boyfriend, the IT guy.
Okay. Nice.
So, and my last pick is Prime Video's Spider Noir, which drops May 27th. If you're familiar with the Spider-Verse films, Nicolas Cage voiced a character that was sort of like a Spider-Man set in the 40s and 50s, sort of like the black and white detective Dick Tracy kind of era. This will
Yeah.
be a live action adaptation of that character. So, you'll be able to watch it in either like the black and white version or like the hi-fi Technicolor, which is very interesting.
Nice.
It's got a pretty strong cast, so Nicolas Cage is always in some type of wild anything.
Yeah.
Like he never stops working. So I'm
He's
definitely interested in that, just to see their interpretation of this sort of like Spider-Man iteration.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is one of those guys who you don't really hear about, but he's an incredible actor. Like you can't deny his range. He's very
Hmm.
good. Okay, so for me, I have Lord of the Flies as well, and I did read this in high school as well. I think like everybody in the United States had to. I'm sure. I'm sure across the Atlantic as well and everywhere. So I'm very excited. If you're someone who enjoyed Yellow Jackets, you probably will enjoy Lord of the Flies because it's the same premise in a lot of
Hmm.
ways. So we'll see how that goes. And then the second one I have starts May 7th, and this is called MIA, and this is on Peacock. And this follows a young woman whose family's drug business kind of collapses down in Florida. And then I guess the story follows her as she kind of navigates the Miami scene of drug use and not just drug use, but drug
Hmm.
selling and all this. And so I thought the premise was interesting enough, but the one of the creators is cannot pronounce his last name, but Bill Dubuque. That's as good as it's going to get. Who was also one of the writers of Ozark, starring Jason Bateman,
Oh,
which
okay.
is also really good. So I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So if it's like Ozark in Miami, then yeah, you can count me in because I think that'll be very good. So that's what I have for May.
Okay. And then going to June, which is still a far ways out. I only had two
Yeah,
picks here. Pretty obvious. June 7th, Interview with a Vampire returns with the vampire
yeah.
Lestat, which is aptly this third season. We'll follow Lestat Linecourt as he shifts into this new era of life as a rock musician on tour. Um, of course, there'll be other characters popping up. I believe Jacob Anderson is supposed to return. I think Daily DeHunt, what's her name, that played Claudia, I think she will appear as well in
Oh,
some
okay.
ways. Most of the cast is appearing, but they've also cast Akasha in this season
Hmm.
from Queen of the Damned, and the actress playing her is the British actress that became knowable from, I think it's the Underground Railroad. That was not Larry Jenkins, Barry Jenkins series.
Oh,
She
yeah.
kind of rose to prominence then. I can't think of her name, but she's playing Akasha, which should be very interesting.
Okay.
I think the only depiction we've seen of her was the Aaliyah's
Yeah.
version from Queen of the Damned. So that's June 7th on AMC. And then sometime in June, the third season of House of the Dragon will return as well. Um, we already know that the fourth season will be its last, so this will be sort of like the push to war between the blacks and the greens of the Targaryen family.
Nice.
Those are my picks for
Um,
June.
okay. For me, I have a June 5th, Cape Fear, which is a remake, will premiere on Apple TV, and this stars Javier Bardem, Amy Adams, Patrick Wilson, and CCH Pounder. So that's quite the starting four right
Oh
there.
wow!
Um, so I'm excited for that. Um, I did not see the original, so it, I'm going to be excited to see what this. But the premise is a guy gets out of prison and kind of tracks down his public defenders who did not do a good job for him.
Their job,
So
yeah,
yeah, so I am going to definitely check that out. And then also in June, I will be obsessed and closely watching the World Cup. It starts June 6th and lasts until ooh, a little bit after the 4th of July. I can't remember. It's just like a month long. So it's insane that it's in the United States. I hope it goes off without any problems. I don't have high hopes for that. Um,
yeah. I'm praying
but
that.
boy, my
Don't
goodness
know.
gracious, I have no faith in our team to do anything like winning. But I just hope the fans that do come and the teams that do come and go without any sort of problems
Right, survive basically.
that can arise in the United States of America. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
yeah. This would
is
definitely
it.
be, that would be a sign if the Olympics will even still occur because I don't know how
Exactly.
we're going to do that.
No.
Whew.
No.
All right, and then for movies, I had a long list, but I'm just gonna highlight the major ones I'm interested in. Um, so like April 10th, My Father's Shadow will arrive on Mubi,
Mm,
so I plan to check that out finally. Heard great things. It stars a
okay.
guy, Sophie Dissou from Gangs of London. So I'm excited about that. May no April 17th, Wasteman should come to theaters. Hopefully, this is the David Johnson film. I don't know much about it other
Okay.
than I think it's him and his co-star from The Long Walk in this film where they're in prison. That's really all I
Oh,
know. But
okay.
he's on the roll right now since he left industry, and I'm excited to see what comes next. And then April 24th, I don't know if I'll be seeing it, but Michael comes out.
Mm,
It's getting hype. Um,
it's gonna go crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
it's going to be a thing.
yeah, exactly. I think it will have the same hype as like a Sinners and Black Panther, or even more Black Panther, where people like going dressed up and stuff. It'll be um something big in the hellscape that is our current day to day. But
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, for me, yeah, that one was honestly the only one I had was Michael. And like you said, that's April 24th, so I doubt I see it that weekend. I do not think there'll be a seat available. So
yeah.
I may be
It's
seeing it in May.
yeah. I mean, I'm glad it's happening. It's definitely something for a younger generation that maybe
Right,
separated from Michael's lore, but we had an American Dream TV
exactly.
series. Like we saw the 90s and 2000s, so there's not much more I need to know
Yeah.
personally. In May, May 1st, I was not a believer, but after the trailer, I will be there for Devil Wears Prada 2. Uh,
Yeah, same,
I
same.
think it
That's gonna
looks
be
so
good.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks really good. The promos for it have been great. So Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep are returning. I guess Anna's character is like she's come back to work with them, or she's like
Yeah,
has a
that's
higher
kind of what it
title
seems.
now or something.
Yeah.
And let's just see what they're up to and how the premise goes. It's definitely a cult classic, and we'll see how it performs. But I'm definitely excited for that. May 8th, Mortal Kombat 2 will finally arrive. It
Yeah.
was delayed from October of last year.
Wow.
Um, so I guess they had to do reshoots or whatever. This iteration will actually be the tournament, and we'll be following Carl Urban's Johnny Cage, who is recruited to join the tournament to stop Shao Kahn from basically cheating and invading Earth realm.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we already talked about Backrooms, but the 22nd, um, uh, Boots Riley's I Love Boosters comes out,
Mm.
and this stars Kiki Palmer, um, and what is that girl's name? The girl from the Whitney biopic, Naomi Aki, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Basically, they are boosters who steal clothes and then sell them
Yeah.
for discount prices. But with Boots Riley's perspective, it's going to talk about capitalism and everything else. Demi Moore also stars in it. It looks great. I
Oh,
love the
wow.
trailer. Really excited for that. So those are my picks for May.
Okay. Yeah, for May, just like you, I have The Devil Wears Prada. It's a hit when it came out, so I imagine this one would do well as well. Mortal Kombat 2. For me, I was not into the first remake, the one that came out in 2021. I didn't. It could have been better. There are different ways to
Hmm.
go, but I think I'll be there for that one. And yeah, and like I said, the back room. So yeah. Other than that, those are my picks for May.
Yeah, I was excited for the first one, went to theaters, and the first
Right.
15 minutes was excellent with Scorpion and Sub Zero and that backstory.
Yes. Yes.
And then sadly, we followed this unknown warrior that nobody cared about
Yeah.
to get his powers. And I love that actor was like, you could just play a character we know
Yeah.
and just got the tournament. It was very strange. And I didn't like how they had to unlock their powers. That was weird too. But
Right.
June being so far away, all I have is Supergirl. I like
Yeah.
Superman. I like what DC is doing right now, and I'm excited to see Millie Cox's take on Supergirl. The only other adaptation I'm familiar with was the series, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, there's already push that the film is trash and blah blah blah, blue blue
Uh,
blue, which we know that's just the incels talking. But
right.
I'm excited.
All right. Um, for me, I have just one, and that is, hold on, let me get the date. It is June 12th, and it's Disclosure Day, and this is by Steven Spielberg.
Mm.
Stars Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth. Got a great cast. Coma Domingo's in it as well. And Disclosure Day is kind of like in the alien community. If you are into that, I kind of am. But Disclosure Day is the day that kind of aliens make themselves known to humans physically. And so this movie is about
Mm.
that. And I hope with Spielberg and the cast that he has, this doesn't become like another like UFO something. I hope it's like good, keeps you on the edge of your seat. You know, it's probably not going to be scary because we don't know what's going to happen, but I really hope that it's good and not so cheesy.
Yeah.
So
All
yeah,
right, that is our quarter one review and quarter two preview. And well, now we're going to transition to our streams of the week. All right, so first up, we have Marvel's Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Um, on Disney Plus. We've got the first three episodes, which I did not know they were going to do. They released the first on March 24th, and then they did like a back to back drop release the following week. If you're unfamiliar, this is a story of Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, who is the hero of Hell's Kitchen. And basically a continuation of Netflix's Daredevil, which premiered back in 2015
yeah,
and lasted for three seasons until it was canceled, given Disney's purchase of Marvel. So now we're here, and we are kind of circling the wagons, bringing familiar characters back, familiar storyline. The first season was decent. You could definitely tell that they paused to do reshoots and creative
yeah,
changes mid-season. But here we have Matt Murdock and Karen Page sort of living underground as they work to resist and fight against Mayor Wilson Fisk's fascist regime in New York City as mayor.
yeah.
So what are your thoughts across the first three episodes so far?
So most of them are good. Most of my thoughts. It kind of it pulls you in. Well, you are kind of going with it, and it's good to see that. And so one thing is this is a dark show, not in themes, but just visually. Like I could not
Right.
see anything. I was just
Yeah,
like
the
that.
first one was
But
very dark as well.
yeah, as for the story itself, though, no, it's good. And in the next point, you talk about how it connects to our current political climate, and you see that almost immediately. I think it's episode 2, the scene in the bodega with the
Mm.
yeah the whatever they're called, the AFTV. So you've got that, and no, but it's good. Kind of just, but you've got to pay attention. There's so many characters and how they connect to one another, and you know, and so that keeps you on your toes. And I had a point there, and it just slipped from my mind as I thought about something. Jesus Christ, I hate when that happens. You know what? It
Maybe
will
it'll
come
come
back. It will
back.
come back. I'll think
Yeah.
about it, but yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really strong first three episodes.
yeah,
Of course, the similarities to the current political climate, you can kind of see that
hmm
at the end of season one, as Fisk wins the election, um, and he sort of um, is running amok. Um,
right,
he's got the anti-vigilante task force, not only disappearing or holding vigilantes as terrorists, um,
yeah.
steamrolling them with guilty verdicts, but he's just disappearing people who dissent from his agenda,
Shinda,
um,
right?
kidnapping civilians for the slightest infractions, similar to
Yeah,
ICE. Um, and it's really interesting to see Daredevil kind of work in the shadows because, of course, before he sort of worked hidden and whatnot, but
right,
this is very much underground. Um, he's not working as a lawyer like Matt is, quote unquote, missing as Daredevil is sort of has taken the full frontal in his persona. Compared to last season, he was trying to repress that identity
right.
after the death of his friend, but now he knows that that's the only way they can win. Um, I really like what they're doing with Bullseye as well, given that
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
sort of this frenemy of Daredevil.
right.
Especially that closing scene in season one, not season one, episode one, where he sort of
One, but the
rescues
yeah.
Daredevil. Um, is what do you think of what they're doing with the therapist character Heather, who is Matt's former girlfriend and now is a therapist working for Fisk's legal team?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to really make of that. I don't know where she kind of stands, but it is interesting. Um, and I guess we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, and you said it. The bullseye thing was the part I was thinking about before. How the that whole scene was one of the big moments. But yeah, I'm not sure. So I guess we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, because we know um, as she was a victim of Muse,
Right.
survived the attack, it seems that she hasn't reconciled with it. She has extreme PTSD, and
No.
instead of seeking help, her pendulum swung the other way where she's got to take the vigilantes down, even if it means breaking the law and whatnot.
Exactly.
So it's very interesting. Any theories for this season? Are you still sort of like just waiting to see what happens?
I think kind of waiting to see what happens. I don't think like Fisk is going to go down. Um, we'll see. It's possible that Matt may get recognized again. May not be so lucky with Bullseye saving him. Bullseye, where they're saving him, because, um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But one thing I will say is that when I watch this, I really don't think about the Netflix version. My mind goes to the Ben Affleck movie for some reason, and
Oh,
uh, and I don't know why, but this is such a good upgrade because that movie was I don't know. You just didn't get enough of it, but this you get it's a little bit more human. You know, he is a superhero in a way, but he's also just a dude, and not just a dude, but a guy who can't see. So, um,
right.
right, and
Yeah, they
yeah,
definitely do a lot of work to ground the
yeah,
narrative, and that was sort of like the big separation between the Netflix shows and the proper MCU
yeah,
before was like they were on the ground, not really supernatural per se, but yeah, the budget was also smaller, so they couldn't
yeah,
do all those
yeah,
things. Um, as we move forward, we do already know that Kristen Ritter's Jessica Jones will appear. And for
yeah.
some, Jessica Jones was the best, well, had the best season of television out of the Netflix series. Season one was incredible. Season two, not so much. But her character will return, and Jessica Jones is a private investigator who has a super strength. Um, and I think in some iteration she flies, but I don't think we ever saw that
Oh
in the
well,
show. So
yeah.
somehow she's going to come back, and then there was news this weekend because they can't keep anything a secret anymore. Mike Coulter and Finn Jones were on set for season three. So the
Oh wow,
Defenders has been
yeah.
confirmed. Luke Cage and Iron Fist will be returning in the third season, which will probably come out next year as they're filming right now.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
So
that'd
people
be
have
good.
been sort of clamoring for that to happen to get the good guy, all the guys back together and whatnot. So um, we'll have to see how the story expands where there'll be
Yeah.
necessary. Any other shows you've watched recently you want to mention? Any recommendations?
Honestly, I'm trying to think, but no, not really. I'm coming out of the winter. I've really just been trying to knock down these movies that I've had on the list. I finally got through all of the Oscar movies before, but besides Marty Supreme, that's the only one I've not seen yet. But everything else I've done with. So, but yeah,
Okay.
no real shows.
Yeah, for me, I actually caught up on Fox's Memory of a Killer. I watched the pilot,
Okay,
and then of
yeah.
course I lost track. But this weekend I just got on Hulu and knocked him out. It stars Patrick Dempsey. It's actually based on, I think, like a Dutch series
Hmm.
or German
Okay.
series where Dempsey plays an assassin. Of course, he's been living double life, and when his daughter is targeted, he realizes someone is after him. So
Hmm.
he's investigating this attempted killing, but at the same time, he realizes he's experiencing symptoms of onset early Alzheimer's.
Wow.
So he's trying to balance that and his double life. It's good. Um, of course, broadcast TV can only go so far, but it's a
Exactly.
decent
Yeah.
show. He's in it. Michael Imperioli, Gina Torres arrives later on the season, and she's always good. So the season finale is tomorrow, which would have been Monday on Fox. So
Okay. Nice.
all right, and then we have a film we watched, White with Fear. It's a documentary from 2024 that basically chronicled the political history of conservatives or Republicans using culture wars or basically race to incite fear in the white populace to win elections. They kind of
Yeah.
go as far back as the pivotal Voting Rights Act in 1963, where the Democrat Party and Republican Party basically changed regimes to where
Right.
before the Southern Democrats were the white racists, and as they opened to accept the Voting Rights Act, the two parties basically shifted paradigms.
Right.
And ever since then, um, the Democrats have not won the popular vote amongst whites.
Yeah.
So the Republicans basically incite fear with racial rhetoric, and sort of fear mongering without ever saying race, but terms like welfare queen.
Right.
In the 80s, the drug on war, no, the war on
The
drugs.
yeah.
Um, the crime bill of the 90s, which Bill Clinton also advocated. That's how the Democrats won. And then later, of course, with 9/11, the fear mongering of Muslims and the terrorism, war
Yeah.
on terrorism. And then now with Trump, how he used the same rhetoric, the Make America Great Again, the use of the Great Replacement theory and whatnot to sort of steal power back from the quote unquote liberal
Yeah.
monster. What did you think of the documentary? Did you learn anything new?
I thought it was pretty good, but it was good. It was kind of infuriating, and it was fast moving. It wasn't very long, so they didn't. While they explained stuff, they didn't get like deep into it. But I think
Mm-hmm.
I just how do I, there's so much in it that you kind of forget. You kind of forget that Mitt Romney was spewing the same stuff, but he wasn't an evil guy like Trump. He's not the, you know, Rush Limbaugh or anybody like that. But he was somewhat on the birther thing, kind of like, oh well, I don't have to explain that I was born here. I know I was born here, and I
Right.
thought it was interesting for a lot of them. Let's see, in 2008 when Obama was first elected, I would have been 16. So while I was paying attention, I wasn't like real in depth yet, but just the outright racism and shit that they said, and how they never failed to say his middle name. And the guy's just like, he doesn't have a very American name. And, is that somebody you want running the country? And then you move on to 2016 and Trump's ascent to the White House. And yeah, it just, one thing America just never learns. And it's hard to have faith in this country because it's just so hateful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
This
think I was really I would say the same thing, like especially just going back to 9/11, they really exploited people's fear of us actually being attacked after
attack, right?
the World
Exactly.
Trade Center. It was easy for folks to hop on board, especially when we really didn't know anything about Iraq. Um, as far like as school age people, maybe like Desert
Exactly. Yeah.
Storm, people knew that history, but it was all news to like a new generation. Um, but yeah, I'd never really noticed how deeply seated it was. And it was very strange just hearing these former strategists and speech writers, whoever, just talking as a matter of factly of how they just
Yeah.
tapped into the racism and was like, yeah, you have to win votes. And honestly, that's unfortunately that's the game. Like you have to do what to do. You have to do what you can to get the votes.
Yeah. And
And
that's
they have no bottom.
no, and they have no bottom. The Democrats refuse to play their game, and for us, we're just kind of stuck. Like, every 4 years it's between you know one bad candidate and another candidate who's even worse somehow. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, not to get too political, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the American people and what they want. And they have to realize that we can't keep doing it. The establishment on either side is not the one. But to
Right.
to to stay focused on the documentary, yeah, when they talked to it was one guy with the black sweater, and they were just so unapologetic. It's like, yeah, no, that's what we did. We told him to go out there and say, "I'm going to build a wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it." It's like, what? What kind of planning is that?
And it's like they really just went out and picked the kook off the podcast.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
uh Gandolfini's character in Daredevil Born Again, they literally just found,
The perfect dumbass.
yeah, and was like, yeah, sure, bring him on. And they would just spout
Right.
anything like, yeah, let's do it. Like the whole idea of like elites, that's not
Yeah.
it at all.
No. It's just,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
I
was
don't know. It
crazy.
was
Even the former Brett, how you say that?
Breitbart, I believe. Yeah, the writer. Yeah.
Breitbart, yeah, writer, one, that wig girl, no. But anyway, just the way like she was literally committing breaking the law with Stephen Miller telling her what to
Yeah. What
write.
to write?
Like,
Yeah.
and that guy is crazy. I don't know where in his
Yeah.
life that the
It went
switch
wrong.
went wrong, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, like he's literally like Nazi and just reincarnated.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of these guys, they just get a rise out of it. They're they're angry at something
Mm-hmm.
that's inevitable and they can't change back. Like the people of color in this country are not going back to the way it was. The demographics are not going to stop going the way they are. Like you either hop on the train, man, or get run over. This is the way the country's going. So
And they did that. Like it's not,
right,
y'all brought black people here. Y'all
exactly.
told the immigrants to come. You
And now you're
forced
upset.
industries to cheaper countries. You like,
Hmm.
so what is the issue?
And you don't
You didn't expect us to
like
catch
edu.
up? Like I don't.
I think that is, and then they don't. They have so many problems with education, but education is how you get ahead in this country. And now other groups are doing better in school, and and it's nuts because they didn't even really hit on just the outright like misogyny that was also a part of it. Most of it was based
Right,
on
didn't touch
race
on that at
because
all.
My goodness, that was nuts too. But yeah, to get back to the point, it was good and a short documentary that hit on some important things. So
Hmm. Definitely, definitely eye opening to know that we aren't crazy. Like
right, yeah,
everyone tried to placate it, like, oh no, it's economics and it's this and that. No,
no,
it's race. Just like
yeah, these people
everything
are
else in this
just
country.
right.
They're
You
not that
you're not
smart
you're not carrying around a Confederate flag because of the economy. That makes no sense.
at all.
All right.
At all. Any other movies to mention?
Uh, at the time, no. So okay,
Okay. I did watch Sentimental Value
okay,
on Hulu. It was beautifully long. I didn't realize it was 2 hours and 13 minutes.
yeah, yeah,
But it definitely moves. There's no real lag or anything. And I thought it was a beautiful story of reconciliation, of just familial estrangement, and
yeah.
also of aging. We see Skarsgård character sort of not only reconciling with the relationships he fractured, but like what he wants his legacy to be as he
As he
nears
gets
sort
older,
of like
yeah,
completion and not being able to do
right,
the things that he really, really enjoys. Um,
exactly.
yeah, I thought it was really good. All right. If you're hearing this, we want to thank you for listening to this full episode of It's the Streamable Life with Brenda and Lauren. When we return, we hopefully will be talking about the premiere episode of Euphoria,
Hmm.
and what other movies are accessible to us and fall into the streaming line. Until
Mhm.
then, keep on streaming.
Peace.